Wait for it. Wait for it. It's gonna happen again. Come on, baby, I know you got more than that. That's an owl, I believe. Whenever I see the sun shooting through the trees, it just reminds me of being a kid. It makes me so happy. It's one of my favorite things ever. It makes living in this shit world all worth it. But yeah, I love the sound of the owls. I kind of wish that I lived out in like the middle of nowhere, in like the woods or something. Or maybe a cave, a bat cave preferably. Because y'all know I'm a bat. Even though we have amazing foresight. You know what's interesting? Bats are very, very chatty. And batty. Ha ha ha, get it? Oh, but they talk a lot. And they stay up all night. And they have terrible vision. I think they're blind, essentially. But their hearing is like impeccable. And I was thinking about how bad my vision is. Like, look how thick these are. These are incredibly thick, okay? If you put these on, totally sober, you would question your level of intoxication, okay? But I guess that would be cheaper than buying alcohol, right? Especially now. But my foresight is like out of this world. My hindsight just drives me insane. There it is. There's the sound I was waiting for. But these things that I can see are because I pay attention from a very alternative I really don't know where I'm sitting, like, when I look at everything. Because sometimes I feel like I'm sitting on top of a billboard in a lot of ways. A corporate billboard advertising malt liquor or some shit, you know? Or maybe I'm on top of a building, like a skyscraper, and I'm looking down at everything and everyone. And, you know, that's how I've always felt. I have this camera crew inside my brain. And, you know, it used to just focus on me and how stupid I was and how wrong I felt about everything, you know? I don't fit in. I don't want to be in this world. I don't think that suicide is wrong. I just think that, you know, according to the world, it's like the most selfish thing you can do. That's fucking stupid. It is selfish, but it's nowhere near as selfish as other things. I'm not trying to take away the selfishness aspect of it, but what I'm saying is that by comparison to other things, like child rape or child abuse, any kind of abuse involving a kid, I would say that you should kill yourself instead of hurting your child. But at the same time, that's the wrong statement to make, because those people can change too. And that's wrong to just assume that you know what's going to happen in the future. Like, that's me playing God. Like, I know that I say a lot of stuff about eugenics, and like, there's a part of me that, you know, the bitter part of me that agrees with Margaret Sanger. And not in relation to blacks, but in relation to like cluster B personality types. I know I've mentioned this, but like, you know, there are just a lot of problem people in the world, and this world would be a better place if those motherfuckers were weeded out. However, eugenics obviously didn't work, you know? So you can't really make a case for something that didn't work. You can say, well, they didn't implement it right. Well, maybe that was their intention. They didn't ever really want to implement anything, but they just want people to go along with it, and they want people to be desensitized to inhumane things like that. So the devil side of me would be like, yeah, sterilize everybody, you know? But that's wrong. Just like the devil side of me would be like, just kill yourself, you know? But when I say you're already dead, you know, I totally mean that. That's the part of the joke that I mean. I don't really mean, I know it's stupid, I shouldn't be explaining my jokes or my bits or whatever, but, you know, when I say kill yourself, I don't really mean kill yourself. I mean reevaluate your life and do things according to what I think is right. No, but really though, what I say rings true in relation to people already being dead. Because if you just open your eyes and take a look around, and you see most people staring at a screen, no matter how old they are, what religion they are, what race they are, what gender they are, what letter community they belong to, okay? When you see everybody doing the same thing, and yet they're all fighting over identity crap, and yet this is the one thing that unites them. Here's your equality. Here it is. You don't need to keep whining about it. But you will. How can you say that that society is the slightest bit alive? How can you say that that society can function at all? But, like I said, don't want to be too cynical, because that's exactly what the devil wants. He wants us to be nothing but negative so that we focus on our despair and just keep giving in to terrible thoughts that lead to terrible behaviors and terrible ideas that we act on impulsively because we think that's the answer. And so many times you just see people doing the same thing. So, you know, I used to drink and smoke compulsively. I see most people in society tweeting or posting compulsively. And it's not getting us anywhere, you know? And people aren't realizing, like I realized, you know, every single time that I took 7 to 12 to 18 drinks, and every single time that I chain smoked, I knew that, like, nothing was being accomplished, you know? It was just putting me in a worse state. It was making me more psychologically prone to doing this same suicidal behavior. But I realized that because it was a substance, you know? I realized that because I could smell it, I could taste it, I could see the jobs disappearing, I could see the places to live disappearing, you know? I could see the friends disappearing. Not really because of cigarettes, but because of alcohol. But, like, that's not happening with social media because social media promises more than that. With every addiction, they promise an experience, but with social media, it promises you at least 50. And they're all a lie.